We believe we do. Mr. Carter's asked that we double check with Debbie before we do anything further with the contract, which is no problem.
That's a good idea. Now, go back to the question, got enough, or we'll have enough stuff to go ahead and get this thing done, right? Money?
Yes, sir, you got money for all of them. Let me give you an example. Dupree Road, there's actually only 3 of them that we have to make adjustments to. Dupree Road, the PW was $48,174. Your expenses to date, and I understand that the project is now completed, are $45,135. So the total that we can spend on mitigation on that one project is $45,135. So the majority of them are fairly close. Jackson Community Road, for example, the PW was for $19,530. Your actual cost, which should include all the administration cost, is $14,454.
So basically, we're leaving $5,000 on that project on the table.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
What percentage you use as administrative cost?
I have no idea. The FEMA guys put that together, and I think on large projects, you're supposed to keep a total of the number of hours that you have involved in each one, and then there's a unit cost that FEMA allows for that administrative. That's something I think Debbie keeps up with.
That means Mr. Barfield, the supervisor, and Mr. Joyner, and the Debbie, which is the bookkeeper, all of those times should be included.
Those are all eligible costs, yes.
That's the cost they need to comply in order to come up with administrative costs.
Yes, sir. Those are.
Prorated share of each one of their hours spent.
Yep. Yep, and really the only project that we really have a big problem with is Keene Cutter Road. The PW on Keene Cutter was for $32,806, and to date, the county has spent $10,572. Well, the problem is, we had a low water crossing lined up for Keene Cutter. There's a creek that cuts across on it. We can't build a low water crossing for $10,000. There's no possible way to do it. So I was going to recommend throwing the Keene Cutter mitigation away unless Mr. Barfield wants to try to come up with something to do in-house.
What kind of design did you have on the crossing?
Yeah, we had ribbon curve on both sides. We would regrade the road so that we force the water to cross in a small area with ribbon curve on both sides and riprap tucked up to the ribbon curve on both sides. And we actually had 1.5 inches of pavement lined up for the water crossings as well, and FEMA disallowed the paving. So it's riprap over fabric on both sides, ties to ribbon curve, and then lime rock at the low water crossing itself.
Mexican cover is what you do.
Whatever you want to call it, they work fantastic.
Well, they do a lot of
I've used them in Calhoun County all over the place.
flow them across the road.
Yes, sir. Goes across the road.
Why would we use lime?
Why would we use lime rock? Because it would probably hold up a lot better than sand clay would.
I'm not talking, I would look at something more permanent.
My preference is to pave it. Is my
Concrete
preference.
would be better, actually.
Crushed concrete?
Yeah, and, no, I put ready mix there, because you're looking at a permanent type structure. Lime rock's gonna wear and eventually get soft too. It's not a permanent type structure,
Yep.
not when it's exposed to water. My opinion.
Yep.
Let me ask you this, are you looking for approval to go ahead and do this? Because I think we've already given you approval.
Yeah.
So you're just giving us a report.
Yeah, this is a report, and what the board's direction to us is to meet with the state and the FEMA folks to get them to give us the thumbs up for a contract to move forward. And really what I would like to do is I would like to have the board's blessing on the final contract before we move forward so that everybody knows what we're doing.
What is the time frame of this completion you get your, is it going to be within the FEMA guidelines of time?
I'll have to go back and look at the the number of days that we had set up in the contract. I don't remember how many days we had set up.
Of course, this was 3 months ago,
It was.
and I wanna make sure that we're still within our time frame of, before we let this out. I mean, I wanna look at that close.
Yeah.
When we got that extension, last year, in October,
I think we applied for the extension around October. Todd's gonna save me.
Excuse me just a minute, Cliff.
I got, wait a minute, Mr.
Go
Brown.
ahead.
When the bids came in, they came in almost twice as much as, wait a minute. We still got this under contract. The contract don't take a rebid or what?
Well, we've talked to the contractors called us several times wanting to know what's going on, when can we start, what are we doing, and all these kind of things. We have not reported back to the contractor until we have all this stuff squared away, and they're gonna have to agree to it. If they say no, then it goes back out for bid.
That's
But-
what I was concerned
Yeah.
about, because
I am too.
they wouldn't know bid for them.
That's right. It was actually, I think the board awarded it contingent on getting it within budget, I think is what the board did. But it's been a long time for him to hold his prices, and, if it turned out that it wasn't acceptable to him, then we'd go back out for bid.
One question. FEMA pays the total, there's no state match.
No, there's
Like the normal 25% the state on the others?
yeah, it's the same way all the rest of your FEMA projects are. They pay 75%, state pays 12.5, and in the past, the county has received the waiver for 12.5.
And I may be totally wrong about the time extension and all, but it seemed to me like it was around October. And if it is, folks, we gotta get moving on the extension, if we can. The intention was to finish it in the second year.
And I'll check in with the time frame on that. Are you doing that?
No, different projects got different time extensions, so I never really saw a list of what got extended when to when.
The point I'm getting at is that we don't have time to do it, so what we're talking about up here